How 4 Stanford frat bros gained a cult following and did $600,000 in sales in men's shorts in one day.
Let's dive into Chubbies, but SKOPAK, we're missing something here for this podcast.
Yeah, to do it correctly, I think we need some brews.
That's what I'm talking about. Where is it?
We're ready. Let's go.
What's up, everyone? Sean Azari here. I'm with Matt SKOPAK.
What's going on, guys?
Welcome to Deep Dive Episode 6, where we take businesses like Chubbies and dive into their business and marketing strategies such that you can implement them into your business so that you could hopefully succeed. And Chubbies, I believe, started in 2012?
2011.
By 4 fraternity brothers. And they've done really well with their marketing. I mean, they're funny, relatable. They have a specific targeted audience, which we'll dig into, and it's mostly targeted towards the fraternity.
The frat bro fraternity.
Frat bros.
Customers, yeah.
So let's go right into number 1, right?
Yeah, you're number 1. Fire it away.
What Chubbies does really well, they have a really strong meme strategy. And if you look at their page, I think probably majority of their page is just memes. Now, you don't need to do that full on, but it's great to have a meme strategy. Maybe disperse it throughout your content, because when you have a strong meme strategy, that type of content is really shareable, and it gets a lot of engagement. Now I'm gonna give you a little example of why it does well.
Yeah, there's a couple other companies too that do it as well.
Yeah,
right?
that actually, thank you for reminding me. Chipotle does this really well.
Yeah.
Their whole page on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter is just memes. They're using these memes. They create memes, not just any other meme, that they find or create memes that pull in that targeted audience, such that in the back end, like with Facebook and so forth, they could then target their products to that audience. So because if they're just posting just their product,
it just gets tired. I mean, how many pictures of burritos and chips and guacamole? I mean, everyone loves guacamole, but how many can you post?
Exactly. So Chipotle does it really well. And then in the back end, Facebook then does a lot of retargeting ads to that customer base. So try to incorporate a strong meme strategy. And I also wanted to give another example of why this really works. So Chubbies at today, what day is it today? May 17th.
May 17th, yep.
May 17th. Chubbies has about 505,000 followers, right? Polo, for instance, I'm just gonna take a random brand because that's when I was doing this example. They have about 6 million followers. Now, if you look at a lot of their creatives on their IG feed, right? They have almost the same amount of reach as Chubbies with nearly not even close to the amount of followers they have. Why? Because people are sharing Chubbies content. For instance, I have an example where I believe in one of their posts, they've gotten about 102,000 views. This is an organic post, right? Whereas Polo, and again, this is skewed, right? But you could take a look at a bunch of other creatives as well. You'll see that the numbers are almost identical, or at least close to it, where Polo has about 150,000 views, really close to the amount of views that Chubbies has. So that's huge. So because people, again, are sharing Chubbies content. So try to have a strong meme strategy in your content marketing plan.
And you want those memes, obviously, to them, but relate to your business. Like using Chipotle as a great example, it's like they use a dog, like a small dog, like dancing in place, like excited for his Chipotle delivery to get there. So use a meme in regards to some aspect of what you're trying to do your business.
And by the way, if you can hire a comedian, which they did, right? They hired a comedian on their team. No one can hire a comedian, but
if
you can, that's a great addition to your team, because then you could actually incorporate the comedian. The comedian could be part of your email marketing strategy and so forth. But if you can't, and I've created a video on this, which is how to create memes without being a comedian, is basically try to look for brands that are doing it really well, that have gotten a lot of engagement, or just memes in general, and see how you could tweak those memes, or maybe change the jiffy within the meme.
So real quick, so what Chipotle we have? What are some examples that people use?
Chipotle, BarkBox
is another one.
Does it really well.
You do it for Sweetberry.
I do it for Sweetberry. Wendy's does it Sometimes.
Yeah, they just started.
I've seen dating apps that do it really
course.
well.
Yeah.
So look at those examples and try to incorporate again within your strategy. And if you can't come up, if you're not a comedian, if you're not funny, again, look at meme accounts. Try to maybe tweak the words here and there, or maybe the image that aligns with your brand, so that you can then reuse it for your page as well.
Awesome. That's a good starting point. Number 2, a supply chain that reacts quickly to changes and new trends. This is really important, and I think over the last couple of weeks we've been doing these. We see a lot of companies who have created a supply chain from the product, getting the materials, to getting it to the customer that reacts very quickly. So I think this is a new trend that we're starting to see. These successful businesses, you need to be able to react quickly to new trends and trying new things. So what can you take away from this? So say you're a restaurant owner, and we know recently, let's use Poke is a really great new product that's basically coming from the West Coast, from Hawaii here to the East Coast, or wherever you might be. So you need to then get the product, try to get this, and try it out in your restaurant. So source it, and then just try a couple of the bowls and see what the reaction is. But the biggest thing is trying new things and basically reacting quickly and creating a supply chain that can react quickly no matter what your business is. So that's very important. And I think now, especially with all that's going on, you need to try new things, and you have to pivot and react quickly to try those new things. Don't come up with the perfect idea, just start and try.
So how did Chubbies do this?
So Chubbies does this. They create a only US based supply chain. So they get their products made in South Carolina, they ship it to California, and they're able to react quickly and create new designs. I think I read that they create 3 to 5 new designs in their shorts or other apparel every week. So they basically said that by having a US manufacturing supply chain, they're able to react quickly, which is a common theme we saw with Fashion Nova, we're seeing with Chubbies, we saw it with Pura Vida, that these companies are able to pivot and react quickly to changing trends in the market.
You know what else I saw? I don't know if that kind of relates to it, but they had a new product. They do like these social sales, I think it's called, when I was actually reading one of these articles, where they had a product where they didn't launch on the website yet, or like publicly. They probably had it on the website, but it's like a private link where they actually showed the design of a cargo shorts on their Instagram, right?
And this is actually cargo shorts, because they hate cargo.
Or not cargo shorts, but they're short shorts, sort of their design.
Yeah, they're 5.5 seam shorts.
So they posted this on, what's it called, on Instagram, and in the caption they said, hey, look, this is whatever our design, whatever new style, to get access to this and maybe for a sale. I don't know if they actually did a sale, but I know they did this. You had to actually tag a friend, right? Text a number. Now they're getting text.
Cell phone numbers.
Yeah, they're getting cell phone numbers, text number, and text dibs, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Right? And once you text them, they'll send you a special link, right? In order to buy that. Now, what does that do? You're now only limiting your supply to a specific number of people, and also testing the waters to see if actually that style is, popular. So instead of like releasing it to a huge audience and then,
yeah, that's the same thing. That's the same thing Fashion Nova did. They make like 100 or 1,000 of that. They order, they manufacture, and if it really goes crazy and it sells out quickly, they'll then process it at a larger number. So I'm sure Chubbies does the same thing. But a common theme is these manufacturers are moving closer to the home, and to be able to react quicker to trends and different market changes. So.
Yeah, and so the reason I brought that up again is because they wanted to test with a smaller audience. If it does well, they could then react and then release it to the public, to a larger audience.
Test small and then scale large or wider.
All right, so we're number 3?
Number 3, it's all
Number
you.
3, and it's gonna be a little different from my first point, is coming up with consistent, well, what Chubbies does is they're very consistent with their ads. They're very funny. And now, before I said about a meme marketing strategy, now it's more for organic posts, which then aligns to now their ads. Now, if you look at their ads, their Facebook ads, they're hilarious and shareable, and they're marketing their product, right? But I remember when I first time saw Chubbies, it was like this guy kind of like being goofy but relatable by the pool and just showing, like kind of stretching the pants and just like doing these like flexing, like kind of like stretching in a funny way that was just hilarious, right? So, and what does that do? That creates a lot of engagement. It caught my eye right away. Just a visually appealing ad, and it's just funny. So a lot of brands don't like, I work with a lot of brands, and some of the brands don't like to, go out of the box, or kind of like step out of their comfort zone and become funny. They think it's kind of cheesy, or it's not luxury and so forth. In today's world, you need to be funny. You need to be relatable, especially on social media. That's what social, that word social, people, that's what gets more shares. That's what people want, entertainment. So if you could create that entertainment and then incorporate with your ads, you're gonna get low acquisition costs, right? You're gonna obviously reach a lot more people, because then what are people doing? When you're targeting a specific audience, right? Those people are then going to share it to their audience, which is, what is that going to do? You're now getting more people without actually paying for that reach. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so
it does. Definitely.
If you can't do consistent, try to test out funny ads, but don't, and I'm kind of contradicting myself, don't completely go out of the box. But I mean, like, you have to like kind of be consistent with it. Maybe like, 2 of your ads could be hilarious to that target audience, especially when you're targeting to millennials and Gen Z and so forth. Maybe in an older generation, it might be a little different. So again, this is why when you come up with an ad strategy, you have to have different creatives based on your target audience.
But let's not be mistaken though. Their personality might be fun, goofy, but the way they research and actually do their email or ad thing, they study the data very, very intently. Like it might be jokes in what they produce, but we were just listening to, I think, the head of marketing for them, and they really spend 24 hours, they spend 8 hours just testing different emails, different ad types and things like that. So I think they might be one of the best we've seen, or maybe all of Silicon Valley in email wording and targeting our customers.
I think the best we spoke about so far.
Best, I don't know. They talked about them maybe being the best, even though they're a smaller company.
Yeah.
I mean, they really put a lot of analytics into it.
I'm not gonna say that, but
yeah, okay. But this leads me perfectly into number 4, is giving your brand the character and personality of a person. And this is what Chubbies has done since day one and has stayed consistent doing. They have given the personality of that frat bro, and they do it in everything that they basically touch with their customers. It's on their website, it's on their social media pages, it's classified differently throughout all their social media platforms. It's in their emails. If you leave something in the cart, they retarget you using that same language. So they have created a company that fits perfectly and given it the personality of a person, of a frat bro. And what that does, if you're trying to do that for your brand, is that makes customers, or your target customer, gives them the ability to better identify with your brand, because they're like, hey, that person, that company is exactly like me. Like, that's who I see myself as them. So I'm a great personality. I'm a great fit for this company. I really can get behind them. Because I feel like I'm like them. And that's very hard. Not many brands can do that. And when you can do that and you can identify with the customer because they believe your brand is like them as a person, that's when you really get a great cult-like following, which Chubbies has done. So it's something very hard to do, but when you can successfully do that, it's just a huge fan base behind your brand.
And at the end of the day, I said it before, I'll say it again, people buy from people. They want to buy from someone they could relate to, especially when there's, and I don't know if they do, but actually they do. Every year they do this model search. But
no, we're going to get to that later though. So.
But have a face behind the brand, I think, is also very important. I know there's a lot of brands that don't, especially big brands in the past. Yes. I think in today's world, putting a face behind it.
It's dangerous though. It's dangerous though. Because once you put a face to the brand, that brand is always associated with that face. And with now social media, and that face has negative publicity, it hurts your brand. So it's dangerous though. But
it can, or having multiple faces.
It's not a real person though, remember that. So they put a personality to a brand that's not a real person.
You know who does that?
Which is
well,
much
Bear
safer.
Burger. Who's the face? The bear.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be an actual person. It could be an avatar.
I mean, Michelin, the Michelin tires, they put the Michelin guy behind it.
Exactly, Pillsbury Doughboy.
So there are brands that can do this, and they signify it signifies a great identity to the company, and it aligns the customers with the company. So, and they do it throughout everything. If you look at their language in the cart, you leave something in the cart, it's, yo, bro, you left this in the cart, like, then it talks like Star Wars analogies or 90s men's movies. So they keep everything consistent with their customer base. So really good job.
Here's a little tip on that too. I suggest looking for companies that done really well, especially with the email marketing companies, sign up for their email newsletter and see what they're doing with their email campaigns. take screenshots of the email or save the email in a folder somewhere, and then maybe in a document. This is what I do. So I'm giving a little bit of tip. Tipski. So you go in your document, you title it whatever the email marketing campaign, and then your headers could be like welcome serious, right? You do a screenshot. You could write down like the UTM parameters, which you could get if you click on the email. You could see the link. You could also put notes like you got this email within 24 hours, or like 2 hours, or within 2 days, and so forth. So you can understand when they're sending out these emails, how they're doing it. You want to really understand and study their flow structure. So I really highly recommend that. I do this consistently.
Real quickly, I didn't know what a UTM parameter was before Sean just explained it to me. So basically, simplify it for people that don't know marketing or Facebook marketing or any type of marketing like Sean does. Basically, it's a set of parameters, a filter that basically you're able to target certain people. So if Chubbies were...
Well, no, hold on. So let me actually...
You know what I mean?
Kind of.
You can filter, target, say non people that have not opened an email.
Well, no. So no, that's
UTM. It's getting complicated again. He wants to go into it.
No, so UTM parameters allows you to track where your campaigns are coming from on your website, right? So if you want to see, or your traffic is coming from. So UTM parameters allows you to see, like, you could title it, it's UTM source, right? Equals email, or UTM source equals Facebook.
But if you're running a Facebook. It's giving different people that fit into these certain categories.
Kinda, yeah.
Kinda, okay.
Yeah,
it's complicated, guys, but
but
definitely
yes,
something worthwhile to learn.
Yeah, so we could talk about that you get more in detail on that. So we'll talk about it.
We need to get to number 5.
Yeah. So number 5, feature your customers on your page. Very, very important. People get stuck on just posting their product and just talking about me. You want to feature your customers in a creative. You could do it in a creative way, or if they're posting, with your product, you could just repost it with. Sometimes they even have a testimonial within their caption, which you could just take their caption and that will be your review, which is huge. I think we talked about Casper doing this really well.
Yeah, we do that for Sugar and Kush all the time too.
You guys doing Sugar and Kush. We do it with one of our clients, Rugs USA, where we're just featuring, homes that were designed by other people. Again, what do people want? People want to be featured on a page. People, at the end of the day, they go to their friends and be like, oh my God, this page just featured me and they have X amount of followers. Even if you have 1,000 followers or whatever, people love being featured. People want to feel that Insta famous or whatever you want to call it. People love that. That gives them, I don't know, that feeling. Everybody wants that.
That you feel important.
Yeah, back in the day,
popular or ego. It just feeds not the ego, but
it's just like being featured in a commercial, like featured on a magazine back then. Like that was cool, but now it's like being featured on someone's social page. It's huge, and especially if you have a strong following. So that's why I really push on growing your brand. And then having the ability of customers loving your brand so much that they're basically advertising for you, and then
creates content, advertising for
in
you
an inexpensive way.
Yeah, and people want to see. They don't want to see a stage photo. They want to see maybe in someone else's home. Like I know when I look at products for my apartment, I'm looking at Wayfair, and I'm going down to the reviews that have pictures and actually looking at the product in people's homes to see if it's something that I would like. So this is very important. And then I saw it also gets a lot more engagement, actually. I saw this study when I was reading about Home Depot never has done this. They're always posting like their products or things. They posted one photo of a young kid in the orange apron, and they said the responsiveness from the customers and the reaction was like 12 times what they normally get. So
I also seen this with Reborn. With Reborn, I posted someone holding a canvas. It was a great photo. It was just something that was taken on the iPhone. I posted it on our feed, and it got, I think, the most amount of likes. Not the most amount of comments. I think it was like 7, 8 comments. But versus my mock-ups or images, professional shots that I've taken with my camera and so forth. So it's gotten a lot more engaging because people, again, they want to see more organic posts. So again. Definitely try to feature your customers as much as possible.
Yes, absolutely. And number 6, this is something we're both going to talk about, is hosting a user-generated contest. And this is something that Chubbies did very well, is they ran almost like we want to find the top 10 best male models that represent Chubbies the best.
But wait, hold on. You got to go really big on this. So this worked really, really well for Chubbies.
Huge. I saw articles on Google where local newspapers were posting and putting articles in about someone from their town being nominated for like this top 10 model search. So it was huge. Basically what this is when you have this user generated contest, you create buzz and you create people that are then creating pictures and then helping people understand that they're part of a brand and that they can identify with you. They are proving that like these are the type of people that should like this brand and who we are. So
actually, let's actually talk about it. So
yeah.
I'm gonna break it down. They hosted a user-generated contest, which was called, I believe, this is just one example, their 2018 or 2019 male model search, right?
Model search.
And they called it Dad Bod Contest. They also put up an example of what they want or how they could enter. Yep. The way they entered, right? They submit a photo, I believe, with their actual product, which then obviously gets you to. I think they had to purchase the product. I might be wrong there.
Probably just has to be one of their products. So,
yeah. They submit it on their website. They collect all this information, but they also would have to use, I believe it was a hashtag, or if they didn't use.
We've seen hashtags used before.
If they didn't use a hashtag, this is another, again, strategy that incorporates with all this, right? Where they post on their feed, right? And then at the end of the day, at the end of the contest, there's either a poll where people could vote. Yeah, I believe that's what they did. They had their friends do a voting. So if you submitted your photo, right, you then have to get your friends to vote for you, which then what does that do? That creates more traffic, more awareness to more relatable people, because friends tend to network.
Your friends are usually similar in styles and things that you do that to you.
Yeah, so you can see me and SKOPAK, for those that are watching the video, are wearing the same shirt. We'd actually bring this up, but these are not Chubby shirt, but they're not also our type of shirts, but we wore these because it's a very similar style.
Yeah, it's exactly retro.
Yeah, retro. So didn't want to digress there. But if you could host a user-generated content, it's huge. What they did again, they hosted that contest. They then had their friends vote for them, and the prize was, I don't know if it was $10,000 or $1,000. They would get, plus they would be on all their campaigns. They will be featured on their website and so forth. So that's huge. You're getting featured. Obviously, a lot of people entered.
Yeah, but you can do this. It doesn't have to be huge. I mean, you can do this for your business. You can have, say, if you have a type of business, run a monthly contest where the person who posts something and gets the most likes or something like that, or comments or things like that, gets a $100 gift card or something like that. It doesn't have to be on that scale, but you just want to draw attention. You want people interacting with your brand and posting about you. So, I mean, that's I think the big takeaway here.
Yep. I think that's it.
I think that's all.
Awesome, guys. I hope you liked the video and the podcast, the audio version as well. If you did, subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you thought, if you had any questions and so forth. And that's about it.
The IG is Matthew_Alexander with 2 X's and Matthew. Twitter is mSKOPAK.
Awesome. And I'm at Sean_Azari. So let us know what you thought, and we'll see you next week. Cheers. Bam.
Boom.